I want us to start at the end. Where we are today is literally the last few days of the year. And how has 2025 musically been for you?
So, wow. It has been amazing. It has been challenging. It has been very difficult. But against all odds, I saw myself, rising. I've been having challenges with my health for some time. So I've been wanting to do the music, but still take, time off. But I think the drive and the passion of the music made me not to even focus on what I've been going through, but just to push on. So 2025 has been really, really amazing. I found myself challenging myself to venues that I never thought I would, events that I never thought I would do. I've had, the Total Praise and Worship with Lebo in Cape Town.
Yes.
And I think I was left with 200 tickets for it to be sold out at the Grand West. And I had the one in the Val, the all white, 2 nights where it was almost 6,000 people that came. For me, I saw like the hand of God. And just now recently we had a show, Night of Praise at Sun City. So for me, I'm just seeing God, pushing this drive within me, not to limit his faithfulness, not to limit the ability that he has given me, to do things here.
Do you remember when that moment for you called accepting the Lord? Do you remember when being born again happened? Do you remember when was it, and what persuaded you to want to dedicate your life to God?
Sure. I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. With my eyes closed, I will take you to the venue. It was, I was 15 years old, around 14 towards 15. Stop sign, multi-purpose, just where multi-purpose is, there was a big white tent in Orange Farm. That tent, and they had Reinhard Bonnke.
By the
by
the ground.
Filled by the grounds.
Yes.
So
yes,
at the
yes.
grounds, and then there's now a multi-purpose. Before you get to Chris Hani Stadium.
Yes.
There was,
just opposite.
Yeah.
It's now
Boxer.
Boxer now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Boxer now.
Yes.
So just there, there was a very big tent. There was a crusade, and Reinhard Bonnke was around, and other.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So
Reinhard Bonnke was speaking.
Yeah.
Do you remember the year?
I know that I was 15. It was.
I don't want to tell you,
huge.
It must have been 1990.
Yeah, I'm 19 mamang, so
1995, 94, 96 maybe.
Yeah. And so it was that crusade. And would literally change my life. There was something that was just drawing me to that. I know every child, in the community wanted to go there, because for us it's like, hey, we're seeing, this big cars, this big tent. It was not a circus tent, we're seeing all these white people, but we're hearing there's, this word that is being shared, that's this man that they speak about, there's this God whom they are talking about. And literally, I remember myself going to the front and saying, I want this God, I guess I wanted this God so bad because they spoke to him as a father, in a point of, I've not experienced a father that way. And I wanted an experience with that father, and they're like, okay, you come to him as you are, and your life will be changed.
So before 15,
yeah,
were you a church goer?
So before 15 years, my family would go to the church, and then we would go with them. I remember there was a church called Zone 7. My sister and my mom used to go there. They were paraskete se black, ba kenya di hempe, ba na le di picker, so tse dulang tse ka re tsa bana ba sekolo.
Yeah.
And we would go there, and ho tla feta ba re ho binwe re shape matso ka di beat, and ho tla feta skotlolo ho thwe hey Nkosi Mnyako, nini Nkosi Mnyako sa kwetse,
Methodist.
and then Nkosi Mnyako sa kwetse le madi, and hey ha re sa tsebe gore wa kenwa ho emelwa thapelo wa kena kapa wa tswa. But it has been that, for me, church has been home. So
where does the singing come from?
Sure. Singing. My mom can sing, that one I know.
Okay.
So my mom is that woman that would sing like where there's a lot of people, but her voice will just, be the loudest.
I'm listening to you now, how soft you're talking. Like, oh. And I give you a mic to sing. It's a different command. So your mom has
Yes.
that type of
So-
a powerful
Yeah.
commanding voice.
No, but my mom has a commanding eye, and like my mom when she comes into the room, like you would
Okay.
feel like she's there.
Okay.
She has this powerful voice when she sings, and yeah, I've never had my late dad sing anyway, but I know that my twin, one of the twins, sings. Yeah, I think that's as
You've
far
got
as
twin
music. Yeah, so my dad had twin siblings, but one of them, I know that he can sing.
Yeah, but okay, maybe I'll put it differently. Before you were 15,
Yeah.
were you part of any dedicated musical group?
Sure.
Or were you engaged in formal music?
No, before I was 15, I didn't even know that there's a note that can come out of my mouth. I just knew that I sing. I didn't know it was a note or I just thought music,
See.
So your Brenda Fassie will be playing, and then by Fitler's on 7 Stadium, every child by then Nikile Everton, so would run to Zone 7 Stadium. Oh, then now area higher, you sing that, you had Wo Messi Pakela, so for us that was like, okay, these are legends, Kiwana music, but for me, church, I never thought church would be anything, nor if there's business in music or anything. I was clueless, about that. But I just knew that I can sing.
Yes. So at what point then, after this encounter with Reinhard Bonnke, Extension 3 Orange Farm, do you say, I can sing and I want to pursue this as a career?
Sure. It's amazing that I think my whole street neighborhood knew that there was a child in that house. Whether I'm doing laundry or I'm cleaning the house, I would sing in the house. So they would know that should be like the loudest loudspeaker in this place. But so after then they told us, okay, from now you need to find a church, where you would go to, and that's when we found a church in Extension 1, Full Gospel. Where the pastor was still is Pastor Enoch Bly, so then went to church, and there was a friend of my brother, her name was Jeanette, on Ajula Extension 4, Blamadume. And I remember then, okay, so we met because we're going now to the same church, and then we came back, and then so Jeanette was very musical. Then Jeanette is now singing, while Jeanette is singing, then so because she's singing, then the note come to the music, because she was doing a song that I knew. Then I was singing along because we're seated together, and I said like, okay, you know how to sing? And I was like, no, I can just it's just music. And from there, Sunday we went to church, and then the naughty Jeanette, what she did is so cracking. I'm gonna testify, or do an item, or I just have a word of gratitude and stuff. Then she wrote that she's doing an item. She's like, okay, solo, musical solo. Okay, fine. And then when she's there, she's calling me to come and sing with her. And like, imagine, at 15, I was still in Sunday school.
Yes. That would make sense.
Not even an adult.
Yes.
Then I went and I sang, and everybody's eyes was like, okay, this child, And from there, Katola, when you now graduate from a certain standard to, also it's about promote. Yeah, you have a promotion.
Is it?
Yeah, sekibilela worship team, sekibitsa ko di mass choiring, seki attended the rehearsal now, and so that's how the music started.
That's how it started. And you would obviously then have said at some point, let me record something.
I never even thought of that. So by then, I was just singing in church, And I remember then there was so Pastor Bly is very musical also, and there was another pastor who was there, Justice Mhlongo, you know. So they would come, I read at the conference and all that. So Justice saw me at the church, and then he called me to Vicky and his brother Samson studio. They were doing a session. And I met Bo, Vicky Vilagazi, and your Margaret Motaka there because they were sessionists. So I just came in, those lines and stuff. So I think they was just testing the water to see that, okay, is this child, So I did that music and then came back home. And then I think I loved it, because I'm seeing already in this music, people they travel, they do things. But it was never literally the core of, how I wanted to do it. Then for me to enter fully into music, it started when I worked at Muruto. And at one of the crusades, the musicians were late in a way. And then songs needed to be started, And I just had it in me to say, okay, let me just start so that
you went in front, took the mic.
Yeah, I took the mic so that I'm in touch,
And when you say work with him,
Yeah.
was it his tense?
Yes.
Okay.
So now as so still from school, still going to school, still a student, and then traveling with him. So when they go to crusades, then I go with them.
You were volunteer.
Yes, so I was volunteering. Then I served, and then I would sing, and then after singing, somebody came and said, "Do you have a cassette? How can we get your music?" And I was puzzled. Cassette, music, like how do you even do that? And then Muruti Ralkholela's son Semi had a studio. Because that's where we're doing the most of the cassettes for the sermons.
So your first album was an actual, you mean an actual cassette?
Yes.
You're just revealing your age. Not even a CD.
No, not even
cassette.
a CD. Yeah. So it was a cassette, and I did my first cassette, and okay, then the music. So everybody now when they ask, oh, how do you find it? I'm like,
you give them a cassette. Was it a demo or it was properly studio recorded?
Properly.
So in a way, semi-produced.
Yeah, my first.
Your first album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Does he know? Does he remember this?
He does. He does.
What were the songs? Do you remember them?
Sure. Okay, there was this song that he wrote. It was
he wrote.
Yeah, so he wrote. And ke tsamaile fatseng lohle ke batlana le tharollo. So there's like and then and it would say, come on, Lebo, what are like
How old were you? You were still in school.
So I was still in school. So then I was like around my almost 16 now, 16, 17. Yeah, so that's when I did my first cassette, and yeah, so it was the life.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. That's like very young. And a lot of young people, once they decide at that time, I want to be at least a gospel star, they would think of several forms of auditions.
Yeah.
And it seems that that was the case for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take us through that. And I know that you even auditioned for pop music.
Yeah.
Take me through that moment.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. So I went to auditions. So, and mind you, so at the time of 16, when I'm doing that cassette, I'm now married. Ne? Lucky. So Lucky now, Santita Malobola, so now I'm married. He's now helping, funding these things. And then we're sitting and then watching TV, and then we see Coca-Cola Pop Stars. And then like, okay, why don't you try that? And then when we get there, I did. So it was in Joburg. So we went to Joburg, SABC, and the auditions were there. And then when we got there, they're like, okay, which song are you doing? And then I think I did Mariah Carey. Yeah. But by then, This is the amazing.
Which song?
No, but don't say.
There's a hero.
If you look inside your heart.
Let me tell you, that's why you didn't win. Why didn't you get in and
like,
sing Halamputsa Tepo
No,
Yaka?
and then like, can you do another one? Yo, and then like, I can't live if living is without.
Yeah.
So by then, this is the amazing thing about my voice. Ne? So my voice, when I started singing from the age of 15, so my voice was a clean first soprano tone, clean. Like I would reach the highest tones. Like I would be that one when everybody was singing soprano, I would sing first soprano because it was like clean and it would hit note. Like I would hit those
The
notes.
highest notes, yeah.
So I was content with that to say that Mariah Carey or whatever with Austin, I would do it. You know, I would even like the raving, like I would rave like you know,
Yes.
and as time goes, somehow I don't know whether it was maturity or maybe where God wanted me to be, my voice changed. Like it literally.
As all voices do as we grow up.
No, but I mean, we understand with
yours
voice.
became even deeper.
So now mine became deeper. So like now when you call me in the morning and I'm waking up and then you would be thinking, can I speak?
Is it maybe because maybe you were experimenting privately with this and that drink, maybe vodka?
No.
Maybe weed?
No, like weed and all these things, they did not even know me.
Yeah.
You know? They still don't know me.
So it was a
even
natural
now.
progression
It was
of your
a
voice.
natural progression of my voice. But like how it challenged me to even
You know what I heard?
go beyond.
You know Nat King Cole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nat King Cole was I think he was singing baritone, maybe tenor as well. But in a sense, they say he used to smoke maybe 3 packs of cigarette a day.
Yeah.
They say just to get that richness in his voice. And he died of throat cancer or something.
Yeah.
We may have to verify these facts, but substances do have an impact. I mean, I've heard a lot of these musicians say, I've got to leave substances. So I'm thinking maybe also it's orange farmer, you know. So
no, it's lady orange in the you know. But I think it changed, but for me it changed for the better.
I see.
Because it literally matured in its own time, you know. And it's one of those, like you were saying earlier, that when I speak, I don't know how to be that person. Like I can only be this one. But the moment I have to sing, literally everything transition from my mind to my inner person. Like I just become probably a certain beast that I don't even know myself. But I also enjoy, you know, being in that space, you know, and also being in the space where humility is also seen.
Let's go back to the pop stars, Coca-Cola pop stars.
Yeah, then I did the auditions and they said, no, thank you. Like they did not even waste time. They were like, no, thank you, next. Yeah, and then fine.
Do you remember who it was?
No, I don't even want to remember. Yeah. But it was okay.
Did it break your heart?
It did. Because I thought I knew how to sing.
And you had a cassette.
And I had a cassette. But it's fine. And I left. Then there was an audition for Joya Celebration.
Yeah, now that's the interesting one.
That's the interesting one. Yeah. So it was in
Do you remember where?
Theater. Yeah.
State Theater.
Yeah. So they were traveling, but this audition.
I've got to take this a bit slow.
Yeah.
Because Joyas have records. There's just 1 to whatever. They're probably going to the 30s now. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. But do you remember which Joyas were you?
I did not even remember
Who were the stars?
Okay, so the judges, I know them very well and they know themselves. It was Jabu Tlongwani who was there. It was Ngobe Gombata who was there. And who else was there? Yeah, and a couple of people.
Lindelani was not around.
No, it was not Linden, but it was Jabu and
Mtunzi?
No, Mtunzi was not auditioning me. But this is what they said to me. So when they see me now and then I will
wait, before they see you now.
Yeah, and I remind
you walk in.
Yeah, I walk in.
State Theater.
Yes, yeah.
And Did you said Jabu?
Yeah,
Jabu?
so Jabu Shongwani and Ngobeka Mbata.
Yes.
So he was the judge. So they're sitting there and then, no, come in, come.
What did you
So,
sing?
and then what do you sing? It was a gospel song. I even forgot it. What do you, soprano, alto? No, what are you auditioning? I'm like, okay. So they said, okay, do soprano first. I did, and then do alto. I did. They're like, no, thank you. Yo.
Once. Did you ever go back again?
No. I
How
went
did that
there once.
feel?
Yo, I felt like, is there a mountain or a hole that I can go inside?
Who were the big joyous celebration leads at the time?
So
Do you recall who was?
I remember. I think who was? Yes.
Keke?
Yeah, Keke was there by then, and Vicky Villegas, they were still singing there. Yeah, from Very Melodies Breakthrough by then. Yo, that broke me. I was like, these people are not Christians.
They showed you the door.
They showed me that. I'm like, how come they don't see you?
And this was after the Coca-Cola Popstar interview.
Yeah. So after auditions.
auditions.
Yeah.
Same year or different years?
Same year. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm no longer doing this. I'm not gonna do this. Let me just continue to sing in church. And that's it. And then guess what? I sang in church, and then I went for my second cassette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With semi still.
No. So now I'm now matured. Now I'm busy writing.
But do you remember the song that you wrote? The first song you wrote?
Sure. So the first song I wrote, it was Kimodimo, and then the album had Tumelo Yaka, had
was it in the first cassette or the second one?
So the second cassette.
The second one.
Yeah. So
you started to write for yourself.
I started writing for myself. Had some English songs in there, Zulu and whatever. And from that cassette, then I started continuously writing towards my CD.
Yes.
So it showed that I did not give up. So I did not, literally, I had not to allow what they said to define me, because I think I was passionate now about.
But at least they said no thank you as opposed to you cannot sing. I mean, of course, it translates to that.
Even if they said you cannot sing, I was not gonna take it. Yeah. I think I was driven to that in believing myself, and I think.
But it would take you.
Yeah.
What? 2 cassettes, a CD.
Yeah.
How many CDs?
Sure.
Before.
Yeah.
Jabu Hlongwane.
Yeah.
Has to talk about you as a household name.
So I mean,
it would take you how long?
Yeah.
Over 10 years.
So it took me 2 cassettes and 2 CDs to get to my 5th CD, where like, I mean, we met at some of the shows, after that, and then I think they would see me and then they would not say anything. But literally sometimes.
But surely they don't remember you.
No, they did. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
They did. I mean, Jabu said to me, I remember when I met him and I was like, and he said to me, you know what, you wanted us to define you, in the space you wanted to be in, but not where God wanted you to be.
He's just using God.
I think he was not.
Well, that's for God to say.
No, probably I think because of
sometimes we really can't see talent.
Yeah.
Sometimes he like, in a way, just a bit of God aside, a bit. Sometimes you really are a judge, but from time to time you're a bad judge of a star.
Yeah.
Some stars maybe are not meant to be judged.
Sure, wow.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I know a lot of times, sometimes we do discover a star. There are so many privileged people who should be stars, take into consideration the talent, the opportunities, but they don't become the stars. And there's somebody worse than the background you are describing, and nobody in the industry counts them.
Yeah.
And half the time, not only do they become stars, they define a new era of music. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sure because Jabu is a man of God, it is something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he meant from
Take
his
courage,
heart that
yeah.
God had a different direction for you. But when was this, when you had this conversation about, do you remember that I was in an audition?
So, I mean, that was around 2015, 14.
But at which stage of your career? Was it after Restored?
So that was before Restored, and then with Restored, you know, there was still when we met. So Restored was in 2016, and you know, even after that, when we met, you know, in concerts now in big places, he would say, you know, like, you know, this is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And at some point, yes,
It's powerful
and
because
from where
maybe
he's
he
saying,
knows that Joyous Celebration,
Yeah.
although it has done
Yeah.
so much for the genre and for gospel music itself, I mean, it's an amazing achievement. It's powerful to hear that regardless of what they have achieved through Joyous,
Yeah.
he knows that it is not the monopoly of the space, that there are different things that they themselves that are not given to them
That's true.
to do.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So we were talking earlier and you were describing to me that Restored would, in your determination, be the album that put you on the, I know 2016 because Lion of Judah became so big. I was at a Debe July gig and everybody who is anybody at the time had performed there. Maybe over 10,000 people in that party. An after party of Debe July. So it's the time when
Yeah.
house was just going out, hip hop was just picking up. And you know what they played in that party with everybody holding a drink? Lion of Judah in Devon.
Wow.
And you were not there.
Yeah.
I think it was Oskido who
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Everybody
Wow.
was singing along. And for a song to cross genre like that, where everybody is like everybody's song, it's a huge achievement.
It is. Yeah.
And it's just your song.
Sure. Literally, it's humbling. And when you say that it was Oskido, I remember that most of the time, I think in his sets,
Yes.
everywhere he was playing, and I remember there was a clip where he was somewhere overseas. I think it was in Paris or somewhere, and he was playing in his set, and then he had the song, you know, playing. And for me, that was like, you know, humbling because I don't even want to sing the song. On the day of the recording.
So the song Lion of Judah was to you what your audition to Joyous was.
Piercing to the heart.
I didn't want to do this song. And that's the song that became.
Yes. I like.
Take me through the story.
Yeah, so
where does Lion of Judah come from? Yeah.
So Lion of Judah is a song that existed, you know, for the longest because I knew that after the recording then, because then there was somebody who would call from Swaziland who says, I rewrote this song whenever, and then I knew the song through Matthews, you know, from Botswana, and because I was in Botswana then, and I sang, you know, the song with him. I remember that in the church, and then I was like, hey, I'm recording. Can you come and then we do the song together? Yes, he did not arrive, but the song, you know, we recorded. I mean, that's not even how we rehearsed the song. So I just had to sing it because, you know, I remember Madondo, you know, started playing, and then probably they forgot that we said, and we're not going to do it. And then literally.
Wow, it was not in the lineup.
So it was in the lineup before. But when I knew
it was
that,
supposed to be sang by someone else.
It was supposed to be sang by me and
Oh, it was supposed to be a duet. Yes.
So when he did not show up, you know, to the recording, then I continued to sing the song.
Was it your first live recording?
No.
Okay.
So after my cassettes, so I did a DVD before, in the van, which was by His Grace, and then also I did a CD, that was Itembalami, and from then there was Restored. Yeah.
Okay, so now he doesn't teach,
Yeah. Then I do.
and then the band decides to play it.
So they decide to play it.
You didn't know that they were gonna play
And
it.
then, so I didn't know. So the moment they played the chords, I knew it was the song. Then that's when I said, "But Bajwana Batenka mo,"
I see.
because there were people that came from Botswana, from the church where I was singing with him, that knew we were gonna do the song
I
together. So they had the flag, and they were there, ready and excited, Then I just had to do the song. It was even short how we did it, not even from how we rehearsed it. But it did not matter how imperfect it was. It did not matter.
Oh, it's a perfect song.
Yeah.
Have you heard yourself? I mean, you are not. You're so relaxed in it. You're so giving.
Yeah.
It's. I've seen you perform.
Yeah.
When you perform Lion of Judah, you relax. Like everything else looks like an effort, obviously, maybe because of this precisely what you're describing. Until
until there's just and for me, I think what I loved about the song, it was the words. The Shona words that says Mamuri Ndawana Zoro. So it says, "In you I have found my rest." Mamuri Andina Kucha. In you I am safe. Mama Papiro enyu ndakachengetezwa. So Mapapiro, it's the wings. So it says, "Under your wings I am safe." So you can only be safe where you know that you've got rest. So for me, it's that which I needed to know. And an amazing thing about the lion, when it comes in and it draws, everything around it shakes. So you needed to know that who's got your back. We're speaking about this God who's so loving that the moment he appears in your life, like that what, you are safe. You are steadfast, and you feel like Mosotho abare le reng ke bone ho yena ke bone phomolo thabo eleng homo rena hai na phe tuho kana kanyorelwa butle katswa ke batla nakatsi elwa kinto tohle gafelwa ke matla. And when this lion is around, you sing and you say, "Auntie, just so una unampona hakilila jwalo ampizari aretlona when I will fall and when you are at the rest, orejwale ki khotswe ka mehla mohau wa modimo So this is when you speak about, when you say Mamuri and Dinazor, it reminds me of when David, is facing, this king and he's running away from him. But he says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not fear. And if I allow the fear, I would not be sitting here with you. If I allow the fear, I would not be the woman that I am. If I allowed a no from someone who said, I amount to nothing. If I allowed the rape I encountered as a child, I would not stand. If I allowed somebody to define the tone of my voice, I would not be the woman that I am. And I'm grateful, that I was restored. Every title of an album that I do, I write it because of the situations I've been through. When I said Kingwana, how I needed to know the love of a father. And I reminded myself that I'm a child of God, regardless of my upbringing or anything. And when I said Kimodimu, it's because I've seen him being God. And when I said Itembalami, it's because he was my hope. When I said, kept by grace, it's because the grace kept me still, And when I said I'm restored, I meant it, because I had to start understanding the journey that God is going to take me through, that I'm not only singing for myself, but for that person who's saying, I've given up hope. I'm not amounting to anything. Somebody told me that I amount to nothing, and I needed to tell them that you can be restored. The only thing that we run short of is when we don't have an anchor in our life. The ship can't stand in one place, when an anchor has not been dropped down. It finds its stability because an anchor has been down. But most of the time we fail that because in the journey of our music, we are defined by who do you know, what company signed you, and who's around you, who's your producer, who's your manager. We feel like certain doors will open because people.
And your story
And
is
love. Yeah.
is a story that defies all those rules.
Yeah.
It's a story of Orange Farm, of Everton. And I wanted to ask you, what are the musicians that modeled music for you? Who were the go-to voices, the go-to sounds? I mean, if you were, I didn't understand until a few hours ago, because the way you sing African hymns, it made sense because you would have spent so much time with Golela, and he's a man, and in like intense with hymns. I mean, his entire delivery is invested in hymns. But nonetheless, who are the voices for you? Who are these musicians that when you close your eyes are like, I'm going to be a star, because you were looking at someone performing, singing, and saying, nah, me too.
Sure. I mean, in the valley, we had Bofani Ntlama.
Funny.
Yeah. we had Bofani Ntlama, and
Funny sang in a group at the time. What was it called? Composed or something?
Yeah. Commission, was it commissioned?
The commissioned. Maybe I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Yeah.
I think it was
Funny,
that.
yes.
So we had Bofani, we had Bo William Sejake. And for me, the sound then, when going to church, then it was the songs would sing in church, but you Rebecca Malupe, the songs that they were writing, with the late wheel, there were those songs that would just pierce, to your heart. And for us, that was the person. And we had Family Factory, and you would have your Benjamin Dube, and those were the people that we're looking up to, but none of them for me were doing hymns. So for me, I find that something is missing. So the only time you would find a hymn is through Barore Sibamoran, you know, and I tend to love the hymns because of that, you know, because it was a clap and tap, you know. Then I remember joining a clap and tap for like, yes, a limited time, you know, but because the music for me, it was like it's a love poem. It was like Songs of Solomon. You know, when you read it, you don't understand. You feel like somebody's writing a love poem, you know, my love, and you know, like you find these words, but it's just like the hymn.
Yes.
You know, when you say "Linna ke mone molodi, yante fetseng Debe," you know, it's somebody who is sitting there at a mountain, you know, who's speaking about the grace they've seen, and doing a storytelling to a nation that is in you know, in fear of understanding itself.
Yes.
Because sometimes when we do hymns, I remember, you know, when we're doing hymns, there would be these talks, sorry, oh, these ones are doing recycled meat,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
because for them, they would feel like, okay, it's hymns. It's not like
You're not the
not writing.
You're not producing.
Yeah, so you're not producing. It's like you're taking a recycle, you know, a material. And for me, you look at life now, you know, with all this recycling that has been done, you would be told that you need to recycle a bottle, a straw, a can, you know, you know, and you would see people having their livelihood out of that. And we never undermine that, because if I'm singing a music that an old woman can relate to, you know, who has been through the odds, who has been through, you know, these are some of the songs probably they would sing, you know, abo lizali sitingalako, you know, you know,
You can't call
so you,
Nkosi Sigelela recycling.
yeah, you can call that.
I think Nkosi Sigelela is a church. It's a hymn. Yeah, it's a
hymn.
Methodist hymn.
Yeah. So you find such music. Yes, we would write, you know, songs, you know, in all these languages that we can write, you know, in. But the moment we do these hymns, an old woman, you know, from a rural place somewhere, can relate to it.
Yeah.
You know, when you say to him, you know, naisale umpitlela ke maketse fela, o mohau wa modimo, you know, and she would relate to that, you know, that old man can relate to that, you know, ha se ba le mona a re ke letso le matla, you know, you like asking yourself what is, because so for me, there's been the music that carried me, you know, so it's I would feel like probably
Did you ever have the pressure when American gospel sort of, there was an era when African American gospel as a genre dominated the scene in South Africa, when Kirk Franklin was big, when Shelley Caesar before that, and then the many choirs, Georgia Mass Choir, Mississippi Mass Choir, but also the CC Winers and all those people. I mean, I'm very sure there were many other artists. I remember at some point, Donnie McClellan, who even came, was a frequented South Africa a lot. Did you ever have a struggle about, because everybody thought, okay, let me also try and do American and then speak.
No, I no.
Hallelujah.
No, I did not.
You never had that pressure.
No, I never had the pressure.
You always believed
I
in the
always
tongue
believed
of home.
in the tongue of home. I remember singing in London at a conference, at Mashimalo or something. Sorry, I forgot the name. He's a pastor in the UK, and I was singing there. I was singing Igama lenkosi malibongo. Do you know that every CD I had in my bag was sold out? Everything that I bought from home to the UK, it was sold out because of one song that nobody understood, which was just saying Jesu phakeme igama lenkosi malibongo. Not your Alpha and Omega.
What do you make of that? I mean, you were telling us also offline that you frequent the continent a lot, and one of the countries you go to is Ghana. And you don't have a lot of English songs. So when you get to Ghana, you sing in Sesotho.
Yes, ngiyakumhlobo
Yeah.
onjengawe
Yes.
ongikhatha.
What do? Do they sing along?
No, they sing hallelujah to miseni. We write the lyrics, we translate in English.
And everybody gets
and
in the mood.
everybody sing Bongeni.
And
Yeah.
how do you explain that? How do you explain
Wow.
to yourself that
Sure.
your music is traveling
Sure.
and it is traveling with a South African
Yeah.
native tongue,
Yeah.
and people across the world
Yeah.
are happy, are accepting,
Yeah.
are singing along?
I mean, it's really the grace of God. You know, you sit down, you look at your charts. Like I remember, you know, when we spoke earlier about your Oskido, I remember I was on the top chart of, then we had the Musica Reliables when we were studying the CDs.
Yes.
I was on the top chart with secular and Abagom and stuff, you know, to a point like everybody asks, what did you do? I even got an offer from one, you know, stable that called me to say that we want to sign you for this. And I was like, no, I did this without a company, with just myself and my God. And I think he will take me further than this. And he did, you know, because they wanted me then because of what they've seen, you know, the numbers, they wanted the numbers, you know. Even if they could have said to me, we're giving you 50 or 100 million, it was not gonna be anything compared to me selling away my life or my rights, you know, to somebody
The
else.
reason I was asking you earlier about
Yeah.
who would have been your role model or your star,
Yeah.
somebody would have taken a poster out of Bonner magazine and put on your wall. The reason I was asking you that is pretty related to this question of your audition,
Yeah.
where now that you are where you are, meaning you could have had an opportunity.
Yeah.
For instance, you mentioned Benjamin Dube. Surely now you have had an opportunity
Yeah.
not only to be in the same stage as him, but for him to call you
Yeah.
her favorite musician, his favorite musician, for instance, or your young Busisa Sisi, I went through this particular time and your music, to hear your star
Yeah.
say that to you. I wanted to ask you about that.
It's, you know, it's humbling. I must say, it's really humbling. I remember when he was doing his album, in Sun City, and he called me to come and do, you know, Boka Modimo with him.
Yes.
And
So
I
it was his
remember,
specific request,
yes, it
that
was-
particular
yeah,
song.
Yeah. And
Is it because you have done it before, or he thought
no,
this is the song?
I mean, he has recorded the
Eh,
song
we and them,
before
fair-
in another album that he did, and I remember when so we did the song. I knew that he's supposed to have his parts where he was supposed to be singing, and literally I just saw a legend in him where he just sat and just allowed me to be me, you know. And same applies to, I remember the song that we did, Le Rebecca, you know, and when you speak of covers, and I remember when we were called at this particular time to do a magazine cover with her. For me, I felt like, okay, me, where's this woman? Like,
And you know, she's from
yeah,
Sheraton.
yeah,
Rebecca lives
Everton, small farm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so is Nazim.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are legends that came out of Everton, you know, and
And the VAR.
and the VAR. Yeah.
And this leads me to my next question then. That place,
Yeah.
I mean, even with the municipal balance of forces,
Yeah.
it is the most broken,
Sure.
the most devastated.
Yeah.
Of course, very good things have come out of. We've just spoken about a few. You are one of them.
Yeah.
What do you think of your community every time you are anywhere in the world that things seem not to go
Sure.
as good as your music?
Sure. It's heartbreaking, you know. It's heartbreaking, and also we see a lot of people that speak of change, but they don't want it, you know, because sometimes we can do so much, and you can only say to somebody, this is a mud, don't go in it, you know. And if they have a peak mentality, they would tell themselves they still want to go to the mud. You wash them out, you take them out. I'm saying this in terms of the ones that are leading us, not the people per se.
Yes, yes.
Because I remember that, there was a time where I got an invitation, you reminding me of that, in the US, and I think I was short of money. I think I was singing in Singapore somewhere. And I went to the municipality to say that I'm invited here, my album is doing well, I need, help. And they would say, no, we don't have, and you would see them funding things that are also meaningless, and you would come there. Yes, you would want change. We would do events. You would want to hire people, in our community. Most of my events, as much as I also invite artists, I also open the stage for the local
artists,
and I pay them as artists. And it's amazing that my whole band is from the Val. My singers are from the Val. I've kept that because I know the importance of how they take care of their families. I know that fela zone 12 for starting the mom is excited to see my son is doing well, like every one of them, because they're taking care of their families. And
so you're a real Val, like, brand. You could be a brand ambassador of the Val, of City Being.
But you would not find that. They would opt for something else. But which is still okay. You can still do your part in other things. I remember, like I was telling somebody, Gary, I never had the privilege to go to probably sit in a university. Or it's amazing how many kids that have paid for their university, that are studying even last year, the ones that are, in university, and you look at yourself and you say, and I come from this place, and I'm not pinpointing to anybody. Yes, at that point my mom could not have afforded, as a domestic worker. She, like, with what she was getting, it was nothing compared to the domestic workers, what they're earning now. And I knew, and I had to adjust my mind to say, okay, you've got the gift, you can sing and you can work, you've got the hands, to do something with your hands, whether, but at that point I knew that this is what life had for us. I saw my mom, refusing. When in 1986, our house in Residencia burned. So that's how we found ourselves being in Orange Farm. So when it burned, the police station, because we're staying close to the police station, but if you let it go, it's gray. I want to tell
Tsaka
tronko, because there was nothing that we could take out of that house. Like it burned to the ground, And then my mom was promised, okay, you'll get a house, then there was that story, some houses are haunted and stuff, so we could not go before the Bonya Park. And then Raya Donosa, I knew how to go to, I thought it would end with me, not to this generation. I knew how to go to that river bank ya Donosa, and light up Premastofo. We just do the fire. And wabidise, how katobadise jig. So it means for a woman who is earning peanuts to still think of buying jig to come and clean the water, and you still find in our time where you'd be told there's no water, I mean, I thought, in my 45 years, I would not experience what I've experienced as a 10-year-old, but we seeing ourselves, experiencing that because of the people who are only thinking of themselves.
What do you think then is, I don't want to make the assumption, I suspect what you might say, but this entire illustrious career of yours, and up to where you are now, what do you think your music does to the people the most?
Sure.
What ministry do you think it's serving?
Sure. I know it brings healing. It brings hope to a point where you feel like you can change the entire world, but you can't, the emails that I would get, that I still got even yesterday, of somebody saying, can you mentor me? I'm gifted. I'm coming from, this place. We don't have anything. I think probably if I can use my gift, I could be something. I can be someone. I can change my family. So you would see how that music that you do encourages somebody to say that I can do it, And the truth is, yes, you can. And you can be the only person you can be. It's yourself.
Yes.
Because most of the time we'd want to change ourselves because of somebody else, or I would want to live like somebody else, but you are enough.
Yes.
So I know that it does. It brings people together. Recently we've been having, those issues where, we'd find when you have a show in a probably a paid establishment. And I mean, if I pay Sunbet to say Arena and say I want to have a show here, they will tell me their rules is that, okay, they are selling drinks and alcohol because they've got I don't have the license. I don't sell alcohol.
Yes.
But you would find that people with certain mentality would say, we'll not go to that show because they are selling that. It's like, now you are transiting. Where are you as a child of God? And how would I then show the love to somebody else because they want God? They did not come for me. They came because this music draws them to the God they love, And when you go to this church, that other pastor is not talking to that one. This one says, hey, my people come here. This one, they will fight. So it's all these things, and you find them in the churches, you find them in the music scene, you find them in the government, you find them everywhere, and I think we need an African continent that would come to their senses to know that they're enough. They've got so much, that they can change the world, just by being themselves, and producing the quality of what they have, somebody would think, okay, Lebo, today speaking to you, and then nobody has seen me with my afro hair. Yeah. Because the reason being, I always plait my hair, and I feel comfortable with me being that's probably simple to somebody else, because somebody can relate to me. So if I'm singing to somebody who says, I don't have, rarwala, maybe kerekeng or something, that person can relate, yes, they can relate to a weave or whatever. But if I don't have money to maintain that weave, it means that a Lebo's going to have a challenge, So sometimes as Africans, let's be content with who we are.
My final set of issues to cover is I don't know what gospel is very huge. It is such an important part of our people's lives. There's so many genres that come in and out. Gospel does it. Gospel is there. Everybody knows. It's like Maskandi.
It's still on
It ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Hip hop comes, it goes. Bomb comes, it's on the low. At some point, there was Kwaito. I-gospel isekhona. Yayikhona. Izohlala ikhona.
Definitely.
Anyway, I mean, what worries you the most about the direction of South Africa?
Sure.
As a gospel musician, as a star, you're an important role player in the country. But surely, when you're not singing, when you're not doing things gospel, South Africa comes to you. It is everywhere. What worries you the most about South Africa?
What worries me the most is that we are silent. We are allowing, our voice to be taken, because I'm not sure whether is it because of fear. The Bible I read, it says, I've not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And the moment our minds are not sound, we tend to accept anything that comes our way. Even if we see that this is, this is wrong. You accept it, because then wrong will be turned to right, and it's not like that. If it was wrong on the left, it's still wrong on the right. So it must be, when it's in the middle, the right must come and say, left, didn't you see this is wrong? Let's fix it. It won't come to me as it is, because now we're finding ourselves conforming to the standard. If somebody's stealing, we feel like it's a good thing to steal. It's a good thing, to discourage, people to be okay with everything the way it's going, and it's not. And we need to be the voice. We can't be in the forefront and be quiet. When you go through I'm just gonna say that,
Yeah.
in the book of Chronicles, you find there's a man, Jehoshaphat, and it says that when he was going to war, he took the Levites and then put them in front, and to say that we're gonna, surround these walls. And at the time where I tell you, we make a sound, when at the Lord's instruction, before the walls fell, most of the time is that we waiting there, seeing that this wall is falling, but you want to come to the wall that is falling and fall with it. We can't. We can't, whether it's our political parties, it's our churches. If you see there's abuse happening, don't say we'll fall with the abuse. I found it there, I'm going to leave it there. You need to be the change. You need to speak up, And when you spoke of gospel is good news. And we need to encourage people that as much as it's the good news, it's with love, and the love does not, love does not think of its own. Love is kind, it's gentle, and we need to show that gentleness to the poor of the poorest, and we need to show the love, to those who need love the most. But we need to speak up, and now we find in our country, if one person is speaking up, we make that person to feel bad for speaking up. We should not be like that. When something is wrong, we need to say that it's wrong. And I pray that we have a mindset of saying we want to fix this. If it's not fixed for us in our generation, but for our children's children, they can't find it the way we found it, and we leave it the way, and we say, Nati sithola bo mama bethu bayithole nje. And then Nati, we nani nizobona. We can't say that. We need to be the change that we want others to live in.
I've got two people here. One of them is a drum player. 2025 has been a very dramatic year for many of us, certainly for the country. I think it's the age where South Africa got exposed in the most negative way to the world. We all felt the pressure of the US. We also got to confirm what we've been suspecting for many, many years. That the judges, the police are working with organized criminals, and that the political leadership is okay with it. It's got very scary. But there's been so many massacres, Just last week, 2 massacres. In fact, this December, people sit in a tavern and then somebody comes, opens fire. In both occasions, over 10 people being killed at the same time. It's like we're back to the age of massacres in the 1980s, which you would know coming from the VAD. GBV seems to be stubbornly on the rise. And all of that. Assassinations are increasing. It's been a dramatic year, but also in our personal lives. Today is the final week, final few days before 2026 starts. What is your message to South Africa as it prepares itself for 2026? And if you were to put that message in a song, what would it be? I know you don't perform for free, but this is Thabo Mdeki's podcast. In the name of the president. In the name of African Renaissance, I humbly request, if you were to have us get ready for 2026, that maybe we try once more and try better, what would that message be? And if you were to put it in a song, what would that song be?
Wow.
And would you be so kind, to perform it for us as a closing item?
I think I would love to do that. I don't know bana ba tseba Sesotho now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want a drum beat.
Drum
Yeah.
beat.
So it goes like Yapostola utla. Ising a and Yapostol. So it goes bap to bap to bap tap to cut
Yeah, he would know how to do that.
Yeah, he would get there.
Drama apostol.
Yeah.
Scoop.
Yeah, scoop.
Yeah.
Rauhang matsole Toyalwana Lihlomele mpose Dirakitena Rauhang South Africa Toyalwana Lihlomele mpose Dirakitena Bam 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 Jesu kimure Limulawudi Da 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 Oh arelwanela Sithabi kotsi Hoba Jesu kimure Nagli mulawudi Oh warelwanela Sithabi kotsi Diang bana besu Sithabi kotsi Diang mureneng limatenga wona sahlulwing kilito Sithabi kotsi Dururu Dururu Da 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 da
When you write a song, do you hear a bass? Do you hear drums? Do you hear keys? How does a song come to you? With
So if I write a song, it comes. I would know where I want the keys, the notes and stuff, and the drive.
So what is the message of this song, Rauhang Masol, for 2026?
Okay, so Rauhang Masol, it's a hymn, di fela tsa Sione. I let there be an army, of people that want change to arise, arise and take your position. Do not fear, tiang. Banabeso, less it's happy, because fear, allows us to sit in that corner and say that let them go, we will follow them, but we're not going there. 2026, let's see change, let's see the beauty of Africa, let's see the beauty of South Africa.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I love you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And we love your work. I'm sure that the night of
Night of Praise.
Night of Praise. What's the date for that?
So Night of Praise, it has passed. Now I'm planning for the full new year.
2026.
2026.
Okay, we wish you the best too.
Thank you so much.
And I promise you that one day,
yes, sir,
I'm gonna sing for you too. But I'll need to practice. For many, many days.
No, you don't need that. We'll just take you, give you the mic, and all these things will be done. And I just want to say that may the Lord keep everybody and be gracious to all of you and give you the peace that passes all human understanding, to guard your heart. May that heart not stay in pain, but may it flourish with good things. For 2026, Inkosi in Patengeng. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, comrades.